All right. This one came in off the Cup of Linux suggestion box from Hugo Master 88. He wanted me to have a look at Ferren OS. Interestingly, I've never seen this OS before, and I actually downloaded this before I saw the suggestions. So here it is. I've never seen this distribution before, and this one is based on Linux Mint. And it's one of the few distributions that's available that still have a 32-bit version that you can download. So for those of you who have 32-bit hardware, this could be a good option for you. This is a fresh install on my virtual box with a solid-state drive, and of course it does give you a little warning that you are using a virtual machine. Gives you an option to install a light desktop that is grayed out. Interesting. Okay, well, no biggie. This is a fresh install, and I booted this up. Let's see how much memory this is using. Let's open up a terminal. And this is using 967 megs of RAM. All right, so this is going to use a little bit more a little bit more resources, being that it's Cinnamon, and Cinnamon does use some additional resources. But from what I could see before firing up the video on this thing, they've included quite a bit with this, as you'll see. But I did not go into this in detail because, hey, this is IsoWatch. You get to experience this the same time that I do. I'm not going to spend enough time to form a valid opinion on this. So, yeah, I hope you read the disclaimer there that I flashed a moment ago. All right, so let's go ahead and dismiss the virtual machine message, and I imagine you can turn that off in the startup options. All right, you get this welcome screen here that gives you some options for customization. You can configure your keyboard shortcuts here, and a number of other things. Now, one thing I will note, for some reason, the first time I installed this, when I went to go and run the welcome screen, it came up blank. Not sure why that is. It could just be something to do with the virtual machine. Who knows? This should run quite quickly, though, because the virtual drive is on an SSD, so this should just fly nicely for us. So let's close this and have a look at what you're getting. This is, of course, the Cinnamon desktop. Your power manager, volume control, network configurations. Your update manager is down here as well. The weather applet is here too. Great if you're in London. If you're anywhere else, you're going to have to change that. And then there's a little drawer here that opens up and gives you some other things, such as your notifications, accessibility options, power management, taking a snapshot, and of course your logout dialogues, session, that sort of thing. Okay, good so far. This caught my attention immediately, so let's have a look at it. This is the theme. Cool. All right, and this has a number of themes with this. If we click on the theme settings, it says you don't have a configurator available. But if you click the icon here, a bunch of them comes up. And what is different about this one that I've noticed is this will completely theme the whole OS. So let's go ahead and open something up like our file manager here, and we'll see this in action. Okay. When we go ahead and let's say we want to apply Ferren Dark, it's going to give you a little warning here. And then it's gonna, the system is gonna, the screen's gonna flash a few times. It's gonna act a little funny. All right, so, all right, we got our little message here, and now we've got our new theme, okay? And it did a nice job of theming the whole OS. Unlike other Cinnamon builds that didn't quite do that, looks like this one does a nice job. And you got a bunch of other things in here too. You got mix and match options. So if you want to change the icons, you can. There's a number of icons. You can change how your controls look. Okay. I happen to like this design a little bit better. Maybe change your pointer. There's a light and dark option. Some other options here as well. Okay, so he has included a bunch of little themes in here. So if you like dark themes like I do, it's got some nice ones thrown in here. Okay, you can also add or remove themes. We have to refresh the listing, obviously. And you can see, there's a bunch of them. And you can also see this is running pretty fast. If you're using a virtual SSD drive, this thing bumps along just fine. This doesn't appear to be laggy at all. It's working beautifully. All right, so we've looked at the theme options on this. Let's also have a look at some of the other software options. Now, I immediately recognize Vivaldi. And I've got to say, okay, it looks like we've got the Vivaldi keyring options. Blah, 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 blah. Gotta love that. Okay, and I'll tell you what, kids. I tried my best to give Vivaldi a fair shake, and I even used it for some time. But the biggest deal breaker for me on using Vivaldi is that some websites that require Java just don't work properly with this. For instance, when I log into GoDaddy to administer the Cup of Linux website, I have to do it with Firefox. I can't do it in Vivaldi because I can't activate the controls in the control center. And there are a few other websites as well, and that's kind of a deal breaker for me. I need a browser that can fully function. I should not have to have more than one web browser installed. Vivaldi is nice, though, in many ways. In terms of customization options, I haven't been able to find a browser that offers quite as much as Vivaldi does in terms of customization. So it's very nice indeed. Let's see what they included in here for this. In the bookmarks section, is there any distribution-specific links provided in here? That's usually the first thing I'm going to look for in the supplied browser. Do we have any links to FerenOS in here? I'm not seeing them. How about in the technology section? Tech Radar, homepage. Not seeing. How about games? Nothing in here. Okay, a standard complement of links are supplied in here, but nothing directly linking to FerenOS. And you would think that they would have something like that in there. No biggie. But if you're looking for support, this is an Ubuntu Linux Mint-based distribution, so you get plenty of support from their websites. Just surprised we don't see that there. No biggie, though. Certainly not a deal breaker in my book. Quick launches to your software manager files and the Vivaldi again. And this is using the standard software manager that ships with all of the Ubuntu-based distributions. So get any application that you want to add to this. It's right here, ready to go. Okay, and then we have a nice little simple menu where you can access some additional files here. Quick launches to home, documents, pictures, videos, downloads, that sort of thing. Your system settings. So these are all quick launches here on the right here. And this is more like a Windows menu. Okay, I don't think I've seen this design before. Okay, so all the categories are right here then. Number of accessories are included with this. Krita for editing images. A lot of people like that one. Seems to be a little bit simpler to use than the GIMP. Photo viewer and a document viewer. Transmission for your BitTorrent needs. Awesome. It has a web browser manager. So, if you don't like Vivaldi, you can uninstall it and pick out another one. Nice that they included that in there. Let's see what else we have in here. You get the full LibreOffice suite. This is interesting. FerenOS transfer tool. Let's have a look at this. Oh, nice. All right, so it looks like they've got an in-house tool here for backing up your data, transferring it from Windows to this computer. Okay, very nice. Too bad I don't have a Windows installation to try that with. So experimentation is key. Okay, an icon browser is included with this. You get VLC. You need additional multimedia codecs. It gives you the option to install them. On board, for those of you who need on-screen keyboard. Some administration tools, such as, if you got one of those Broadcom things, you got a driver manager here for finding those drivers and installing them. Maybe you need an NVIDIA driver, that sort of thing. Driver manager is always a good one for you. A few other system tools. We see these in all Linux distributions, so yeah. All right, and then all your preferences are managed in here, or right here through the system settings dialog. I opened this up so that you could pretty much get a look at this here. Manage your backgrounds, your screen effects, simple little dialogues for all of that. And most of that is tied into the Cinnamon desktop with the addition of other tweaks and tools. So, you've got full panel customization options. You can, let's have a quick look at that. Okay, you can change your panel options. You can also go in here and there's that panel applet utility. Here it is. There you go. And then in here, using the tool that they supply here, you can change this to change your weather to your locale. I think this is fine. Change that to Fahrenheit. Yeah, and it automatically changed the weather now. Okay, well, I guess I put the wrong code in, but at any rate, you can see how it works. I guess for my particular area, that's the wrong number. Okay, well, happy, joy. At any rate, you can add all kinds of items to your panel, and you can, really extend its functionality. With something like this, not only can it be, your little utility for telling you the weather and your CPU usage and all that other fancy stuff. It can also double as a dock. So lots of options that you have with this. At any rate, you guys at least get to see the OS and how it appears. And if you think this is something you would use, there'll be a link in the description where you can visit the FerenOS website and download this. I think it looks pretty cool, and so I'm glad it was suggested today. I looked it up, and as stated, at the same time I found it on the forum, I had also had it in queue for downloading because I'd never seen this one before. So good stuff indeed. All right, tonight at 7 p.m. I'm going to do another live stream, and this time around I'm going to do a tutorial for the Battle of Wesnoth, because we actually played that Saturday night, and a few of you had some trouble understanding how to play the game. So I figured, all right, well then I'll go ahead and do a live stream, and I will play through the tutorial, and hopefully that'll get some of you some additional people maybe to join us for a Cup of Linux game night at Saturday nights, and we can at least give the Battle of Wesnoth a fair shake. So hoping to see all of you there. So we'll see you tonight for our live stream at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, UTC -5. And until then, peace out.